What up? What up? We are back with the Silver Screen Breakdown any given Sunday. I'm Alex. I go by the Fantasy Football Hustler.
Nelson Tynes? Oh, whoa. Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to
forgot the
Bogart.
order.
I didn't mean to Bogart in front of you, but Nelson Tynes here out of L.A.
See, now I don't even remember who I was going to be on this one.
You don't remember who you are now.
No,
huh?
I was going to be something. I was going to be a Bo Oliver Stone or something like that.
And Tino hasn't been here for the Silver Screen Breakdown in a minute. He said, "Wow, what's going on right now? I'm too high for this." So we break down the podcast into 3 acts. So we record it all at once, but it gets uploaded to the podcast in 4 separate segments now.
Last time on Silver Screen Breakdown,
newcomer Steamin' Willie Beeman is forced into the game when the starting quarterback and backup quarterback go down in back-to-back plays. They lose their first game. They must win a handful of games to make it to the playoffs, and if they do not make the playoffs, the team is in jeopardy of selling. The Miami Sharks. Here we go. Act 2.
let's look at game of inches.
Nelson, I want to, before we jump into the next game that they play, Willie Beeman, he was a little bit more ready for the second game than he was for the first. He's eating
pork rinds. They didn't want him to be the starter, though. You know what I mean?
He's eating pork rinds and chips like on the sideline. Like coach, like, I told you to warm up 5 minutes ago. What happened? What happened? He's not used to playing.
It's like a string got hurt. Yeah.
That motherfucker was eating pork rinds too. They look hella good too. I ain't gonna lie. I want to get some pork rinds right now. Some salt and vinegar ones.
What do you think, Nelly? What do you think about the football that we've seen so far? Just the way they're filming it.
Yeah, out of the gates, it reminded me of Saving Private Ryan. Remember, it was like
because of the fast
sound. It was in kind of slow motion.
Yeah,
kind of brought you in a surreal place.
Yeah, a lot of quick clips too, outside of the constant slow mos.
Yeah. So I thought, man, this is a good movie.
Oh my God.
No, yeah. So that being said, I thought, this is gonna be a good movie. I can tell the production right away how they're gonna shoot the game.
You could tell it was a Stone production.
Pretty much, the guy doesn't really make bad films, does he?
No.
Yeah, so it was very dynamic, and I could tell the angles and how he was messing with it. It wasn't just shooting plays and downs and stuff.
He was shooting that movie like it was a game of inches.
And one of the reasons why Jamie Foxx was casted for this role and ended up winning the role was because of his football background. I think he played football all the way up until high school. So playing in Pop Warner, Texas football, he knew how to throw the ball a little bit. And that was one thing that they wanted. At least someone who could throw it out there to Bill Bellamy and T.O. They had to be able to get it to him.
You know what's funny, too, is if I was Jamie Foxx and I was reading what the requirements for this gig, and then they said, "Oh, Jamie, have you ever played football?" Hell yeah. Pop Warner since the womb, All American. It just I would lie on the resume. I'll say anything. Give me in this movie with Pacino.
Yeah.
You probably learned how to throw the ball that week.
Anything you gotta say.
But you know what though? He actually did play football, and because they wanted to be authentic with this taking the snaps and dropping back, and he did get with a trainer and with a QB coach, and took the role serious. And this was the role, man. What was the movie before this? Booty Call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Booty Call was a smash for my generation. You know what I mean? But it was like this is
Davidson bringing in Living Color back together.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a movie about fucking. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? And how to, you know what I mean? It's a booty call. It's like that shit coined the phrase, the middle of the night pussy. You know what I mean? It's a booty call. Then the goddamn. Now he does this movie. This is the upper echelon right here. This is Pacino, Oliver Stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was a bad mammer jammer already at the time too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
Saw
Booty Call in Toronto too, because I actually, my agent gave out auditions for that, but I didn't do it because I don't want to do the role that they offered.
All right, so now we're moving farther down the plot of this movie, and they win their second game, and it's on the strength of a Steamin' Willie Beeman. I don't know, 30 yards.
The drop.
Come on.
My name is Willie. Baby, keep the ladies creaming and all my friends got
Yeah, it's getting really wild now because Now they go to some party and it's some fundraiser for the mayor, like something. And this is where you start seeing the blow coming out as well, like not out in public. Bill Bellamy,
The mayor's in the house. The mayor of Miami. Get bust the coke out.
Bill Bellamy and LL Cool J, they're in the bathroom with two chicks. Like he's like snorting the lines off her titties and stuff. And then it cuts back to Willie Beeman, who's like talking to the mayor now. And it's funny when the mayor comes up to Cameron Diaz, right when Dennis Quaid is there. And he was like, hey, you introduced me to your quarterback?
The
And she was
black
like,
one.
oh, yeah, this is our quarterback right here. And he's like, no, the other guy.
This is the black one, didn't he?
Yeah, he means Willie. He means
Willie Black.
My name is Willie. Baby, I keep the ladies cream and all my friends.
That's Jamie Foxx's song.
Yeah, we got that scene queued up for a little bit later here. Yeah, that was when he started getting endorsements and stuff.
And that's when he started like this. Okay, I can't wait till we get there. I can't, because that I really like that Willie Beeman a lot.
Yeah, well, and
he got a platform and he started using it correctly. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit because there's a lot of this stuff. It's building the story, but really just kind of showing how Willie Beeman's changing a little bit right off the bat. He's his lady's there, but he's like hanging out with the other chicks. He's like kind of flirting with the owner, and his lady is not liking it. And then they end up fighting later. Oh, you've changed and this and that. And so, don't let my success go to your head. He ended up getting a huge ass ego in the head, like really quick. Pause.
He said, bitch, you know who I am? Hit the drop. Hold her though.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, my name is Willie.
And Tina said, Willie be fly as fuck. Hell yeah. And one of the undertones of the movie, Bogey, you brought it up earlier about how Cameron Diaz is trying to get taken seriously in her role as like the owner, as I was wanting to say, younger.
Because she's fuckable.
Hotter.
Yeah, she's fuckable. You know what I mean? Nobody's like looking at if it was the mom, it was the owner. Nobody, unless you're like one of those opportunistic weirdo guys that like the guy that fucking on a Kris Kardashian or Kris Jenner. Anyways, you know what I mean? There's some weird...
been around this like forever. They don't really say that, but that's what I assume. Been around it forever because it's almost like Al Pacino's like her uncle or something. Like that's the kind of relationship.
Yeah,
that
like, yeah, hell yeah.
Because she even says it, my dear Uncle Tony. So he was part of the family. That's like his pops.
I mean, because, okay, how old do you think she is in there?
30? Like some.
Okay, are you saying how old she is Cameron Diaz or her character?
No, in the movie, her character, she's probably like 30s, right?
I was 32, 33.
Because she's still got to be young enough that they don't take her serious, period, not just because she's a woman, too. You know what I mean? So she's really young, and they obviously have been owning this team's been around for a while. He's probably been the coach since the inception, you could imagine, or maybe one of the early, since they've had success. It's been coach.
Yeah.
Was that it? Yeah, okay. My bad, shrooms.
And yeah, so the undertone there, at least with their relationship, because right at the end of this party, before they bounce, it's like Al Pacino's hanging out with her mom, and they're getting drunk and looking like they're gonna fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, and he was always around. Seems like he's really good friends with their family. The dad had to have loved them. The mom's probably friends with him. That's dear old Uncle Tony, you know, and he had a ring on. And Cameron Diaz she's talking about like the old days. And he was like, you just got to win one. And she was like, yeah, we got to do it. And he's like, no, you just got to win one. And keep flashing the ring like nothing else matters. Shut up. Get on.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say.
What do you think about that whole dynamic, Nelson? It plays out throughout the whole movie.
I agree with Bogey. It was weird. His rings, the ring was on her finger. They're playing around like little kids with his mother, Pacino's character.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time around those certain people because when I was, for instance, when I was living with those guys, I was one of the few that was on the inside. Like a lot of these players don't have friends outside of the players.
Yeah. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. So their dedication is what it is, right? Like, this is their life. So it's like the friends that they have are circumstantial. Like they're my friends because they're doing the same. We have this common denominator here. You know what I mean? Because I don't have time to go fraternizing other. That's probably why she might even feel like Cameron Diaz might be not accessible to regular. Maybe people want to fuck her, but she's not accessible like that because she's of this stature. That's probably why she has this weird. There's this weird sexual tension between them, even though there's a mad age gap. It's just and
Yeah, no, just to piggyback and to agree with you, her character, like, not only she's you said she's not she's
accessible.
untouchable. Oh, she's not accessible.
Yeah, because she's such
She-
she's a status.
So she's not accessible to regular folks, and she's not even accessible to the players. So
Yeah.
who's she
Yeah.
accessible to? Is who's really fucking her?
Yeah,
Probably it's the elite on the elite. It's like some politician or something, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
It becomes like those women, especially women, men not so not so much, obviously.
yeah. Men's not
But
like
women,
this 60-year-old woman right here. No offense, I'm just saying it's not. It's usually the other way around.
yeah, because women will when they have
That's why
more
I knew George
success,
Clooney would be fucking bad bitches his whole life because he looked like he was like 50 something when he was like 30. You know what I mean? He looked like he just stayed the same looking. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I got it all figured out.
Yeah, the best way for guys not to age is just to look old in the first place. Who's that one guy? He's a comedian.
Old and dashing.
Steve Martin.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
I was 10, since I was 10, he looks
Had
the
white hair
same.
since he was like
Exactly the
23.
same. He had the white hair. I'm like, hey, how old is this guy? His
Yeah, and he
eyebrows are
looks
dark. It's really
he looked old
confusing.
40 years ago, but he looks no older than he did 40 years ago.
Really fucking confusing. That's Steve Martin.
Yeah, so I was saying that. So these guys, these players, and I remember my friend who I lived with, my friend Sean. He said to him, "says Yeah, no, so you're like the only friend I got like outside of like the team." And I was like I was in the locker room hanging out sometimes because he'd always give tickets, put tickets on the coffee table.
Hey, you're the guy that
I
would
wanna
hold the
go.
guns, huh?
How's that?
No, I said, you're the guy that would hold their guns on. Listen, Nelly, bring our guns in through the back.
Yeah, so I was in the locker rooms and stuff and just hanging out. I was in my 20s,
Just as adults,
and we go out all the time.
just as adults in general, you're mostly hanging out with the people that you work around, maybe live around, things like that. And it just, yeah, the higher up you go in pay scales, whatever it is, just seems like the circle gets tighter and tighter. Because yeah, even we're talking about like Al Pacino and her and Cameron Diaz's dad. Who the hell's the owner really going to be like hanging out with? Probably never going to be hanging out with the players like that. You can't just be seen with a bunch of people. So that's probably why they
Yeah,
seemed like
true.
they were like best friends.
Yeah, so they hang out with each other like that.
Yeah.
And it's true. And I remember going out, and then I remember, not me, but it was my friends. Girls would be like waiting in line to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's real. Like this movie really depicted. Of course, it seemed a little more sensationalized because it is a movie, but it was pretty accurate though, from what I saw.
Yeah.
And I remember in particular this. It happened a few times. There's one girl was just standing behind me and my friend, but my friend was talking to this other chick, and then this other chick was waiting in line just to talk to him, waiting to talk because she knew who he was,
Yeah.
and she was waiting in line. And not that they watched hockey, but they knew that he was one of the players because how he dresses. They always have to wear certain clothes. They have to dress up after the game, right?
Yeah.
And then they'd shower or something, we'd go out and then just meet these chicks. And he didn't really have to say much. And then, like I said, these women were on their best behavior. And this is to this day why, other than me showing interest in a woman, I don't chase women. I'm not chase them. I will not do it. I know you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just find a woman or women that are in your league. If they like you, they won't even have to chase you. If they like you, then it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
But chasing women, come on. It's ridiculous.
Willie Beeman. Now we got him. He's the one who wins the game in game 2 based on the strength of his TD run. And now in week 3, it's like he's like coming into like the zone. And here we go. I got a clip from game 3. Home field advantage. It's like everything there all over.
That game was the other coach. That was Jim Butkus, right? Yeah, that was another coach. He played in the NFL too.
I cannot remember who the other coach was.
In this game. He wasn't in all the games.
Right.
Jim Butkus. Jim Butkus had his own sitcom back in the 90s.
Judges.
And Bakes a lot in the house. What up?
What up, Bakes? I sent you a joint in 7.
Lot.
Let's do it. Let's shake things up.
And this was the next, like the scene that Bogey was talking about, the locker room scene where there's all the schlong out.
A lot of
This is
schlongs out here.
a lot of
Pause.
schlongs out. And I don't know, did you guys notice that Jamie Foxx actually has a tramp stamp?
Nah, I never noticed that.
His tattoo He's got like guns holstered. He has a tattoo. It's like on his hips, and it says "cocked" on his.
You know what's funny is that I don't subscribe to this narrative, but a lot of people they say that Jamie Foxx kind of plays on both sides of the field, and that's cocked, and it's right by his ass, though. I'm just saying, and I get it because
It's right by the guns
yeah,
are like
you're wearing
holstered
your
where they're.
jeans. You're
Yeah,
wearing
the guns are kind of like holstered where they're like on the back of his hips, so you can see that and the words, then the word all right very clearly. And it's when he's hitting on Cameron Diaz. That's when they give a shot where you can see his back and you can see the tattoo.
I will say this: it's I would only have a tattoo like that if I lost a bet. That sounds like
I'm sure this isn't a real tattoo. This is a movie tattoo.
so. That's my choice. I wanted to say that I'm from Texas. I want two guns. But I want to say cocked right there.
Maybe this is Oliver who came up with this idea.
Oh man, it's a new form of wearing the dress. He's like, I need you to have a tramp stamp.
But after we get Willie Beeman just trying to flirt with, maybe we can go get some beers or something. Sorry, I don't date players. I'd give the wrong impression. And
you know what's funny about that? She didn't say not. She basically said, "I'd fuck you," but you're a player.
Nobody can know about it though.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we get the cut scene to Al Pacino and LL Cool J and the offensive coordinator that's in there, and LL Cool J is talking mad shit. Willie is changing the plays in the huddle, the plays that you call that I like, that's going to help me get my bonus.
Yep. Because this is so real. This is Antonio Brown is the latest example of this. That's why he flipped out. Started taking his clothes off, doing the jumping jacks and shit, and left and just walked across the field during real time game action, just disrespecting all these other players and everybody. And they say, and then they write him out, oh, he's crazy. It's because they were pigeonholing him. They pigeonholed him so he couldn't eclipse this fucking incentive that was a bonus in this sense.
Oh, that's what happened, huh? So he wasn't as crazy as well.
No, he is crazy. Let's be honest. But I'm just saying, Antonio Brown, though, that was the out. That was the scapegoat for the organization. They're like, oh, Antonio Brown, he's just up to his old crazy ways. CTE. Now he's owning it. I got CTE because he thinks it hurts the league now for him to go around saying that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. It's getting really wild. That is for sure.
But that's a real thing, though. He want that bonus, bruh. You know what I mean? And then here comes, and this happens in football all the time. This third string guy, he don't have rapport with these first teamers.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And these first teamers have a standard to uphold because they got these incentives they're trying to meet, and they trying to eclipse whatever margin is set for them so they can get this extra money and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then here he comes in and he has his own agenda himself, though, right? Because now he's got his egos going. He's listen, bro. My name is Willie Beeman, right? He's feeling it, bro. He's what? You know what I mean?
His first big endorsement, and it's MetRx, and it's like some protein shake or something. And here we go. Said this little motherfucker told me to just get in the gym.
He was really high. It wasn't a work. They really didn't like each other.
No.
Yeah.
Because what did you think of? Did you remember any of that, Nelson, when there was that back and forth, just talking shit?
Do I remember that stuff going on? I heard about it.
Do you remember the part with LL Cool J, Jamie Foxx? Just that clip that we showed, there was a lot of shit talking going back and forth. It seemed like a lot of ad lib.
I heard about
calling him the F word, bro.
But I didn't really look into it that hard, but I heard about that. That is fairly well known that happened.
Yeah.
He was calling him the F word, bro. That's like telling another man to suck your dick, bro. Like that's war now. You know what I mean? And then what's dope is that if I'm Oliver Stone directing this shit, let them go.
I didn't know that.
Because Oliver Stone, he'd put people in the crazy situations, right?
Yeah.
Get them into that.
Let the cameras roll.
Yeah. LL Cool J was a professional running back during this movie in his own mind.
Yeah, and here's the thing too: is he was fresh off of In the House. Remember that series?
Yeah.
Hey, he played an NFL running back or a receiver. I don't know if he was a receiver or running back, but for the Raiders, that was his whole gig.
Yeah.
And did he already do Deep Blue? Like he was already the guy.
Nah, that was after this.
That was
That
after?
was
Okay.
like 2000 or
So was
2001.
this wasn't his acting debut though, right?
This was not his acting
Oh,
debut. He did
movie debut.
no, not even movies. He'd been acting before this, but
Okay.
this is probably
Oh, that's right. He was in that one joint with Jada Pinkett.
Are you talking about Jamie Foxx or Cool J?
No, I'm
Cool
talking
J.
about LL.
No, Cool J did stuff before this.
Yeah, I know that. He even had the TV series In the House. I
Yeah.
love that shit. That shit was tight. Shit
He's
had
been
me wearing.
doing
I used to
movies.
watch that too. Wasn't it? Oh no, I thought Moesha was in that.
He'd been doing movies since Crush Groove.
Okay. I forgot he was in Crush Groove because that was way
That
before
was
my
his
time. That was something I watched when I was like in high school.
That was his acting debut.
Yeah.
He done movies like long before he started doing TV.
My name is Willie.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so
Yeah, I
now
mean, he did two movies in the 80s, and then 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 movies in the 90s before doing In the House.
LL is hard as hell.
But yeah, so he was just full on just method acting to everything to the
I don't even think it was the method, bro. Did you guys hear about not too long ago? This might be like 4, maybe 5 years ago now. Somebody tried to rob LL Cool J's house, and they got cameras on the bitch. And the wife's like, "Oh, someone's in the house, bro." He went down there and beat the fuck out of the dude. He beat the fuck out of the dude because the dude was armed and all this shit. And he's like, "Hey, you in my house, bro?" You know what I'm saying? Mama said, "Knock you out." Hey, LL's the truth, man. Shout out to LL.
All right, now is when you were talking about it, Bogey, where Jamie Foxx gets put on, where he
gets
gets
a little bit of, he gets any kind of platform, and he speaks out though, and I really appreciate that though, because it's really how it is though. This actually stood to, at the time, even in the NFL, we only had the actual NFL. You only had what you had. Who was dude from the Vikings?
Ross?
QB. Nah, QB. Help me out here.
Cunningham.
Culpepper. No, Cunningham. Culpepper.
Cunningham.
Culpepper and Cunningham. Those
Oh,
are like,
both
and
of
then
them,
you had Steve McNair. Steve McNair. I was trying to think of the black QBs at the time. There wasn't a lot. So what he was speaking on was a lot of truth. Hey, see, man, because they know I got the sauce. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, right? See, because I'm saying these other white QBs and that rant was golden.
And he talks about it. He was like in college. He was like, he was looking for the next black QB to get you to the bowl game. But he was like, how many black QBs at the next level? How many black coaches? Even less. How many black executives? Even less. So yeah, he's calling a spade a spade. It's probably another reason why the NFL didn't want to give up the likeness, right? Like you're getting
they read the script. They're like, nope. Maybe we could have dealt with the cocaine. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor is that. Come on.
But calling out racism in 1999, no.
Systemic racism, even.
Yeah, they weren't going to let that fly. They were not going to let it fly.
Historic in the industry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx. I like that. Shout out to Oliver Stone too, whoever wrote that. Like, wonder if they were adamant about putting that part in there. If they were adamant about putting all this other stuff like the PEDs and the cocaine, I'm pretty sure like this was, you know what I mean? It was the voice right here. It's pretty. It was low key. You know what I mean? That part of the movie is low key. They don't really, but I think that's a more powerful part of this movie. There's a lot in this movie, and to be honest, too.
And look at two of the biggest characters in this movie, Jim Brown and LT. Two of the biggest
like actual
heroes, like fucking ever. So
yeah. So this movie can really do no wrong for me because it's really boring. A lot of it, like if you think about it, like a lot of it's dragged out. But at the same time, it's like
it did not need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes.
No. But that part right there, though, that's great for the character development because at this point in the movie, we're learning more about Willie. You know what I'm saying? Okay, first you start to think, oh, this guy's the egotistical kid, isn't that? But then he gets the platform and he speaks on this. You know what I mean? It makes me
hella chips on his shoulder, is what you.
Yeah, and that's got to open the eyes up of the coaching and the world in general, right? All this fucking kid, he's outspoken, but. And then now let's see if he could translate it to the field. And because then a lot of this, that also shows leadership. And a lot of this is foreshadowing why this is raising Pacino's eyebrow right here. Like, oh, this kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at the same time, it's funny how they intertwine, like him going on TV talking about everything that we're talking about, and it's intertwined with Al Pacino having sex with Jesse Spanier. You know what I mean? They don't actually show them having sex.
I mean, it probably was only like about 2 minutes, though. You know what I mean?
He's a minute man. He doesn't need much time.
It's a game of this dick is a game of inches and seconds.
What'd you say, Nelson?
I didn't think that it was the same chick. I thought it was a different chick.
Same chick. Because now he broke down and he called her. She was
Remember, he's liking on her. I think it's more not getting the nut off. I'm pretty sure he could just rub one out. It's about
that's what older guys do, though, right? Older
it's
guys,
the satisfaction that he gets from her stroking off the ego, like Huss said. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like
older dudes are more chill like
young. He's 50,
because he's trying to recapture the glory days too. It's almost like back in my days, I never used to have to pay a call girl. Just being who I am, the bitches would throw the pussy at me. You know what I mean? Like he's still living off this legacy that he built because he's a living legend, but they can't. He's trying to recapture it. You know what I mean?
And even like at the end when that she's getting ready to go and all that, and he was like, hey, maybe next time we get together and maybe we do it without the money. And she's like, no, you don't want to do that. And she is who we thought she was, but I don't know, for him,
she's off the clock at that moment. This is candid right here, because while she's on the clock, she got to love on him and feed his ego to the max and remind him all the plays that he done when he made the right, huh?
Yeah, she's getting paid to do that, right?
Yeah, but now she's also no, honey.
Yeah. Now you're at the cashier and you don't get treated too nicely. It's just time to pay whatever it costs.
Give me another Bina, and I'll tell you how great of a play caller you are.
And so, yeah, things didn't work out too well for old Coach there because he really wants his ego stroked off.
Bina is Italian for $100 bill slangage.
He should have just paid her in the beginning, so then he wouldn't have had to feel all awkward at the end, and then the whole night.
Yeah,
he just ruined everything.
No, but see, because he's liking on her. He's hoping that one day she won't be like, put that check away. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna happen. He's married to the game. Yeah. This is his character right here. This is what's sad about his character, is that he gave his life to the game, that he'll never know the love of someone, because he'll never be able to really love another woman as much as he loves the game. The amount of dedication. That's why he's paying his $5,000 call girls, but to the best of it, to make it as close as he can to a relationship, he tries to call the same one all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. Making dollars.
And then we get a big old long scene with Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino, where after LL Cool J pretty much dropping the dime on him for changing the plays.
Yeah, rata.
Yeah. So Pacino wants him to come over and they're just going to talk and they're going to have dinner. And it's funny, like LL Cool J tells him, like, I think he says, oh yeah, Coach he gets really disappointed if you don't bring flowers. And he brings flowers for him, and what the hell? Okay, let me see. I put these in.
But see, what's dope though is like he was trying to make an effort.
Yeah,
Jamie Foxx, as much as like the ego's there, he want to be better. He want to be taken serious too.
I think he's a real football player.
Yeah, he's scorned. He took the scenic route, not by choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so he's coming over pretty much to get a little bit of a shellacking from the coach.
He brought over flowers though, but I said that is.
But so the
coach really likes flowers and frogs. He's coach. I tried to get a frog, but the damn thing I couldn't catch it.
he's got the old school like Aztec games going on in the whole Roman stadium and all that, and everything's just like old school.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
He's talking about the Hall of Fame.
No, but I didn't notice the Aztec game on the thing.
Yeah,
because that's a foreshadow. So this is like his dream, like to coach for them one day, maybe. You know what I mean? Okay, go ahead.
It's a lot of good back and forth. And Nelson, do you remember this scene that we're talking about here?
Oh, I'll know it once I see it.
Okay, I don't have anything pulled up from this one. It's a really long scene, but
yeah, it's great dialogue in this scene, though.
Yeah, for sure, and that's really what it is. Like, this is one of the ones where it's like
there's probably 4 minutes of this they could have shaved off.
Maybe more than that. It's on for a while, but really good acting between the two, and you're really getting like a deep insight into the coach, into Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx he's new school, Al Pacino's old school, and like he's not liking anything that he is saying to him right now. Like he's not connecting with him like
No.
at all. And
But
it's
this
just
is awesome though, because this is the conversation.
Put the flowers in the fridge, man.
yeah, he did. He did.
Fresh.
Fridge.
When you go to a joint, are they not in the fridge?
For sure. Yeah, you got to keep them on. Got to keep them on ice.
Oh, and the water with the water, right?
Yeah. I just mean if you go to an actual like
A flower shop. Well, it's not necessarily a fridge; it's a temper controlled.
Yeah, it's almost like the temperature of.
It's clearly a thingamajig that with the whatchamacallits in there.
Peace out, Antonio. We'll see you tomorrow, bro.
Peace out, my twin.
Antonio.
Yeah, so Jamie Foxx he is not having any of this. The coach is not like connecting with him. He's not saying the right things, and they pretty much just beef. And then it goes to the next game, and there's already just hella beef with everybody now that Jamie Foxx went on the news show and all that. And so the offensive line they're not
trying to block for him.
No, everything is just all fucked up for him in this next game. And the part that I really want to talk about though, the party.
Yeah, this party goes down.
Man, what did you think about the party, Nelson? You remember the party scene in the big Miami mansion?
I remember like different parties though. That's the thing. So I'm getting them mixed up.
Am I crazy?
I remember there's all these party girls at the nightclub and stuff.
Oh no, Brett Favre wasn't an extra in this scene.
No.
I don't know why I thought that.
Like, so which party in particular? Because there's more than one party. So
back in the days, Brett Favre had
the one party, right? The mayor.
The mayor
all
was
the party girls. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this one is the one with all the party girls. It's not the mayor though, but it's when Jamie Foxx starts talking shit to other players like on the team, just like straight to their face. Now, like Jamie Foxx,
that one, yeah.
His shit doesn't stink anymore. And here's one of the examples.
Yeah,
I love that.
It got wild. Like he didn't give a fuck like anymore in the party.
But come on though. He's walking around.
The party happened before the game that we're talking about. This party happened right after.
Yeah. I was about to add the context to it because and you know what I'm saying? And for him flashing on him, it translated to the field. They're like, fuck you. But he was right though. This was a spoiled group. It's a spoiled group. And they don't want to hear it from this. He's technically the new guy that's privileged to like be the signal caller for this machine that's a well-oiled machine. That's or at least reputation wise, this team has a reputation for being a winning organization, and he's looking around inside the organization, watching all the guys partying, getting your dick sucked by $1,000 hoes, and your motherfuckers is doing blow, and this and that. Like he's like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to win. You know what I mean? And then they're still all living off the fucking legacy of what they've accomplished. See, they don't. There's a lot of backstory you have to assume, right? You have to piece it all together. Like when LL's characters, man, you know what I did for this team? He probably ran them into glory at one point or another, right?
He even said you got to pay your dues to talk you got to earn your stripes before you could diss someone on this team.
And then he said it too. He said, "Yeah, you used to be a great player, right?"
Now you're just a joke. Like right to his face, didn't even care. Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Bill Bellamy's drinking his drink, got the cigars. Oh shit!
He's like, yeah, the kid got mucks. He's like, throw me the ball though, kid.
What do you think? Do you remember that part, Nelson?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You think that was ad lib? Used to be someone. Now it's a fucking joke.
That didn't seem added to me. It seemed like that could have been written. I didn't really see it
musically too.
Like I thought it was a good theme, but it didn't really seem to stand out that it was ad lib to me. It didn't really catch my eye that way.
Okay, I guess it was Bill Bellamy.
But it was good though, dialogue.
I guess it was Bill Bellamy's like reaction to it when his reaction it almost made me think that it might have been some ad lib.
Yeah, I love those moments though because Bellamy maybe. So I see you saying it was his. Yeah, you're reacting off. Man, I can see that because they're like, "Ooh, wow, this is." And then if because Bellamy never had anything to say.
Yeah.
So he can just sit there and react all scene long.
Yeah.
Which is easier for him. So that's cool.
But
no, it was like the scene, especially with the Cool J.
LL Cool J, like he's just a big snitch in this movie, like that. Like anything that he hears, he goes and runs and tell people. And he was like, "Oh, you better chill on the defense. Shark hears that, he'll fuck you up." Then he starts talking shit to him, and then LL Cool J runs over to Shark. Yo, man, he's talking shit about the defense.
Oh yeah, then also told on where it was where he said he told the coach that Willie was calling his own plays, not the
Yeah,
audibles, but calling his own plays. It's right there. He says, "What? His own
yeah.
plays? What? Are you serious?"
And the Shark, LT, he wasn't having it. Here was his reaction to hearing this.
Shit about you. What? Motherfucker talking about we be on top of the defense would do their job and this and that.
Fucking kidding me. This motherfucker, you gotta break a piece off in this goddamn ass.
The motherfucker's trying to play it, she's trying to punk.
And he's at LT's house.
Was his vehicle?
Yep.
Football, that's the offense, that's the defense. Not one about the other. Respect will be paid. Somebody call that fuck that cap, get the fuck out of my house.
LT was not playing around. Get the fuck out of my
He
house.
went rogue. LT went rogue, man. Rogue.
He was
No,
not.
there was no method acting required for that. That's just actually who he is.
Yeah, and Bogey, you were gone when I was like brought up the fact that LL Cool J is nothing but a snitch, man. In this movie,
I
first
mean,
he
he's
tells
a little rat top, bro. I said it already, man. He's okay.
and he
Every
told
movie,
LT on Jamie.
he's
like,
an antagonist. He's an antagonist. Antagonist in the movie is LL Cool J and anybody who's the non-believers in what they got going here, in the magic, because that's what we're witnessing. It's some magic here. You know what I mean? We're witnessing football magic. Like it's one of the everybody loves these stories, but you never know you love it until you see it work. Because then it's only in hindsight that it was like, oh, that shit was crazy because you never expected the third string guy. I witnessed it last year with my Niners, but you know what I'm saying. And similar to this movie, you know what I'm saying, for young Brock, it didn't have a happy ending, so to speak.
It's like one of those Coach Carter endings. You
Yeah.
think they're gonna win, but they come up a little short. Still a feel good story because they made it a lot farther than they were supposed to. So we get the game. We get the next game after that, where now everybody is fucking pissed at Willie. Nobody wants to like fuck with him at all. And this is when we get the game. After the game, when LL Cool J starts talking to Jamie Foxx, he starts swinging on LL Cool J. He gets in 2 shots, but then LL Cool J gets in a good one and drops Jamie. Drops him like a bad habit.
You know what's crazy too is, man, you hear a lot of stories about that shit. Like fools will come to blows, but then usually they come out better on the other side. That's why you ever hear about like when Vernon Davis, and all of a sudden we traded him to the Broncos and whatnot. He was just so disgruntled because I heard he was like damn near coming to blows with hella fools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the one that was like the whistleblower, like the anonymous tip about how everything was going wrong for Harbaugh and everybody. My man Vern, shout out to Vern. He was the LL. You know what I mean?
Oh man. And we get Dennis Quaid's character, like a little more into this, is him like talking to his wife, pretty much talking like contemplating retirement. And
Oh, that was a good scene. I like that scene. Lauren Holly.
I don't have that scene. That's a really good one though, but she was not having it.
You know,
Like,
she was sorry.
Go ahead, Nelson.
I say she was the epitome of the opposite of Tom Brady's situation.
Yeah, at least from what we
Bunch
know.
wanted him to stop playing, and she wanted to like if you're a man, you'd rather have her egg you on to keep playing.
This is back when people weren't getting. This is back when people weren't getting the crazy paydays either, though. These crazy paydays didn't start coming maybe until 6, 10, and obviously now. But
they're still making good money. They're still making millions though, but not like hundreds of millions like that.
Exactly.
They're never making hundreds of millions like that. There was only like one coach that I could think of that got $100 million contract that was fully guaranteed. That was John Gruden in his second stint with the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they fired him, and because they fired him, they still have to pay out that contract.
Yeah,
10 years, 10 million a year.
Yeah, she was pissed. That was a good thing.
She slapped him in the face. I am not gonna stand here and listen to this. You are a football player. And like, man, just like he's pouring his heart out. Like, I've been listening to everybody my whole life. It's my parents saying you do this.
And then she's like, motherfucker, now you listen to me now.
I know. I thought he was going to win that argument, but he didn't. He did
No.
not.
Listen, and that's what's crazy is that you know what it is too. I bet you for her, her resentment and anger in that scene, it stems from I gave up my life because I was a fucking football wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And motherfucker, you ain't quitting. You sorry, you pussy. You know what?
Yeah.
No pussy for you. Oh, but baby, please. You know what? I'm gonna play some more.
Yeah, like what the hell?
He probably wasn't even getting it either.
He probably wasn't. I only fuck champions. He's like, oh.
You know what though? A lot of the wives like that spotlight too. It's a big status thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They retire, then
Mahomes'
she
wife.
retired.
Patrick
Right
Mahomes'
when
wife,
he
and
retired.
nobody knows her for nothing but being this annoying ass bitch. That's
Because just like in one of those scenes that they said that to Layla Rashawn's character, to Willie's character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing him for 6 years. Okay, yeah, but you're not his wife.
Yeah, she's like, no ring on your finger, I see. All the other wives are hating.
Yeah, and that's a serious thing. I remember going between periods, you go to the VIP room and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then you'd have. I remember you just have some of the single players that had bring some models because they get 2 free tickets.
they're single.
And if they need extra tickets, they get extra tickets from the other players, right?
Yeah.
I remember my buddy played for the Flyers in Philly, and then there was this one guy, the superstar that played there. He'd bring models and stuff. That's what he was dating.
The best,
But
only
it-
the
it-
best of the best, sir.
Was
Without
that?
No, I said the best of the best.
Yeah, I was saying in
best,
the lunchroom.
sir.
So in the lunchroom,
With honors.
like the model types and stuff, they don't mix with the wives. They don't.
The
Yeah,
wives
I'm
are like,
watching this
"Look
all
at
play
these
out. It's pretty
fuckers."
interesting, man. They don't.
Yeah,
It's like that.
Just women are very petty about some things.
It's like who's she? And
a
also
great-
a lot. I'll tell you right now, a lot of the wives are not all that attractive.
There's a great song.
But I'll tell you that they're good. They're good mothers though to the, and they help out the players a lot. They're kind of almost like their assistant.
Yeah.
But also too because there's not a lot of money in hockey, so I can imagine hockey is more. It feels
No, there's a lot of money in hockey. What are you
Well,
talking?
on basis of comparison, let me rephrase that. On a basis of comparison, like their facilities, and I mean, there's some NFL organizations that are different.
No,
from the next
Bogey.
NFL.
No,
I don't know nothing about hockey, so what am I even saying?
no. They got everything that all the NFL's got.
I just, in my mind, it's a bunch of toothless dudes just fighting on the ice.
Yeah, but they're still making millions of dollars.
That's hard.
The lowest guys are making 300,000 or 400,000 a year, maybe, but that was like 10, 15 years
okay.
ago.
Oh,
Well,
but
most
see, it's
NFL players are in that same category too. Only so many are the ones getting the
Yeah,
$100 million contracts.
most of them are making $1 million. Most of even the ones that aren't that well known, they're still making usually at least $1 million, 900,000 to $1 million.
Hockey's just way
1.5.
harder to make. It's got to be way harder to make it than a football. Football, each team's got 54 players. What's hockey have? 15 on the squad?
No, hockey's got about 23 on the squad.
Okay, still less than half.
Yeah, football's got a lot, and then you got basketball's got what 15, I think, or 14.
Yeah, 15 or 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up Act 2 here, one of the storylines that is going on here is the CTE stuff with LT's character, who plays the middle linebacker. Luther the Shark LeVay is his name here. And he's talking to the coach and the medical trainer, and he's coach,
Oh, yeah, that's good.
like this many tackles to get my $1 million bonus. And he does not, and they're advising him not to play. They're like,
damn.
like they said pretty much.
I'm sure the NFL is like, yep, we are not getting behind this.
For sure. One hit in the wrong way. They said he might be dead. That's literally the consequence of what taking.
Oh man, fucking Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. This is
in Miami.
And this just
the universe.
It's the storyline that they do not, that the NFL probably does not want to hear, because that's one of the most sketchy ones for sure. Because at the end, the coach, Al Pacino, doesn't want him to play, but he's like, I guess you're going to have to sign a waiver or something. So
Yeah.
he says that it's his life. It's my life, coach. Let me live it. Let me go after
He
this.
want to get his million, bro.
Because they're not, because $1 million to who knows how much they're
Back
making.
then
you know,
in the 90s, these players, that's why it was such a big deal when free agency became a thing.
Yeah.
And then immediately they're like, okay, there's the guys like Jerry Jones out there that could just pay anyone. Like, we got to put a cap on this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Changed the game. Players, and that was the inception of it. If this movie was supposed to be in real time, this is 1998, 9-ish. You know what I mean?
1999, yeah.
Yeah, it was big money in football was still brand new. For real, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
this
we had
team
breaking
needed to
bones
play.
and stuff, and they're like, they
They
got the
needed to play, or you're not going to get the dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're not on the field, you're just out of sight, out of mind because you're not a warrior. And then you had to be a warrior back then, or people just didn't even want you. Got to be that. These guys.
Yeah, if you get hurt, then you're worried about the player that's replacing you playing better than you.
Yeah.
So you want to get, you got to, they go into rehab really quick, high intense, and they're on that bike cycling. They're doing all a bunch of stuff to get rehab back into fine form.
Yeah. All right, this is a good time to wrap up Act 2, and this is going to be going into their final game. We got the drama with Luther, the Shark LeVay, a.k.a. LT. We got the drama going on with Willie Beeman and the entire team. And now for this game, Cap Rooney might be able to make it back out there. It's getting crazy. It's getting wild.
Nelly, let him know.
Nelson Tynes, find me on Instagram. My name, TYNES _ and then just Nelson Tynes on YouTube. You can find my acting and my demo reel and such on my channel on YouTube.
Tune in next time for Act 3 of Any Given Sunday's Silver Screen Breakdown. Will Willie Beeman get his team to move as a cohesive unit? Will the coach realize that there is perhaps more than a QB controversy on his hands with the pending return of Cap? Will Shark even remember any of this act ever happened? Tune in next time.
Yeah, tune in.
Silver screen, ugly picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.